Hello everybody, we're here for round one. We are going to be on the play and we are mulliganing this hand. Tons of one drops, things that we can do, but nothing really that we want to do like by itself. We want to Thoughtseize them, but we want to Thoughtseize and play something. We want to Swords them, but we want to Swords and play something. So we're going to go down. This hand definitely more fragile. Debating whether or not we're going to keep this for sure, but debating whether or not we are going to stop from an earlier play. Take rid of that, no combat, and we don't need his draw step. Wonder what I was doing. Oh well. The debate here between Savannah Forest. Savannah opens us up to Wasteland, and I think I'm fine with that. Just gonna kind of run it out there and give it a shot. Looks like it's gonna hold. It's not exactly a great thing to see on his side when your opponent just plays basic island and passes the turn. It makes you think. Still am going to run this out there just because I can. It's a 0-1. It'll get snared. The reason why people will counter the Goyf when they see it is just because it can become so big so fast. I mean, if I draw, there's an instant in the yard, it's a 1-2 now. If I draw a black mana source, I automatically get to have a 2-3 Goyf, possibly a 3-4 if it's a fetch land. Black source, black source, black source. Ding! No stifle, no stifle, no stifle. I know, there's a lot of prayer put up into this. Let's go ahead and have a 3-4 here. So he's counterspelling. Remand. You know what? I think I know what I'm playing already. I think I'm playing against old school Solidarity. And if I am, I'm kind of happy and kind of dismayed. My hand is not very good versus them. If I draw another land, what I'll end up doing, yeah, at this point they can almost go off. This is a deck that wins on your turn with lethal damage on this stack. Black land, black land, black land, black land. Not as good. So, I mean, if he could go off right now and he needs to, this is the time that he'll be doing it. Other than that, we're going to thin out the Batter Skull. There's no point in having it in the deck. So, yeah. We just want to get stuff out of the deck as fast as possible, even though his goal is to actually mill us out, but there's nothing that we can do to fight that at this point. It's also a deck that, oddly enough, Choke is good but bad against, and I'm entirely right. So what do we have? Opt, which is a card draw, and let him look at the top card. So he can filter. He'll draw his card. If he's smart, he will get rid of the top card, draw the second card. So he filtered one card out of his hand entirely, as well as filtering his hand. Reset, reset, meditate, meditate. Can't really afford. The meditates are the choice here, and that's just because it steals cards out of his hand. It's not a very good choice, but it's what we got right now. This is definitely a Duress come in and Thalia's come in. This could get to be nasty. And we're going to take the Batter Skull. Next turn we're going to hope to hit the Bob and go from there. Our Goyf is not going to get bigger than that, barring him countering a creature or a Planeswalker. Us drawing a Mox Diamond just because it will pump the Goyf, we'll just play it out there. He's got time, he knows that. There he goes, doing all this fun stuff. We're not in a good position. We should be losing here, if not next turn, the turn after, depending on what he draws. He's got the meditate. I am having the darndest time. He needs a High Tide is what he needs. This is the original High Tide deck. Swamp, swamp, swamp. Pride Mage. Not as good as a swamp. I just want the discard. Yeah, we're going to do this beforehand. The reason we're going to do this beforehand is just simply because we want him to counter it if he does, and if he doesn't, we don't really care. The choice there also between, like, if we play the Pride Mage, is he going for it? Impulse. Not yet. If he gets a draw card, chances are, I mean, he could have probably meditated there and been just fine. But I guess if he's got the impulse, double impulse, yeah, he's digging deep. When it gets to the point where he is going off, I'm not going to let him see the rest of the deck. I mean, he doesn't need to know that I have Liliana's. There's Diamond. That's shown from Bob. I should probably pull this up there so that he can see. He can show that he knows what we have in hand. All right. So are we losing right now? Let's find out. I'm going to go into F6. He's either going to make us draw everything, or else he's going to have to choose targets for his brainstorm, or his brainstorms. Wow, his cannot think of the brain freeze. There we go. If he fizzles at this point, we have won the game. We have 6 damage on the field right now, 7 if you count the diamond. We'll be playing Liliana most likely and discarding Pride Mage, which would, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. We could swing twice with this, and it is a win. He had one more turn that he could have just kind of putzed and waited for. I wonder why he didn't. Swords are terrible in this matchup, obviously. Pulses are also bad, so those will be the targets of getting rid of things. Teague is definitely coming in. This deck tends to run a couple of resets. Or not reset. Well, obviously you see the resets. I was thinking repeal. There we go. Oh, Flash of Insight. Always fun to see. So, of his hand, what I can remember right now off top, just the Singleton. What the heck is that card? The Turnabout, which is probably this spell right here. This deck used to be very difficult to play, and over the time has gotten a lot easier. A lot of people have put in a lot of work into it, into making it very consistent and doing as much as they possibly can. He will be brain freezing us, so, you know, sometimes these things happen. There it is. I'm going to F3. That way he doesn't get to see any of it. Let's see. So, alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times 3, unless we see a remand. What is this? Oh, never mind. He already did the remand, so yeah. This is game. No need to let him see the rest of the deck. And let's see. So we want the Gaddock Teague. We want this. We do want the surgical extractions. We can start hitting random things. We want both Thalia and the chokes. We're on the play. Typically that deck doesn't play anything off of their turn. So, like, they won't play anything on their turn, so it'll all be on my turn. And we have cards to get rid of. We still need 2 more cards. Well, Jit's definitely out of there. I didn't even think of that. And we'll take a Stoneforge. That should, in theory, give us a fighting chance. Typically, we're not very good against combo decks, but let's see how this goes. With the surgical extractions, we want to be able to hit the thoughts or the high tides. If we can snag a high tide, great. If we can't, we want meditates, we want resets, we want turnabouts. Turnabout and reset are top or high tide's top priority, followed by turnabout and reset, and then meditate. Meditate because it gives him more cards. That being said, he's probably got Cunning Wish and a couple meditates in the board, and we will find out from there. I'm going to try something different this week. I'm going to try and not have to edit videos, so this is all going to try and be one continuous string. And yes, we do want to play first. This hand is terrible, but I'm going to keep it. Keeping it because I have access to the choke. I can play the top and look. Hopefully we can get some type of removal out of him, and maybe we can top deck like a Thalia or something. We do have to be careful of Submerge. The deck played a lot of free stuff, so I mean, we're gonna have to get something down there, but we can start off almost F6 there. Now we can F6. All right. Lost my train of thought. There we go. Other win conditions for this deck used to be, yay, there's a green source. So we're gonna do this. And I will not be drawing a card with the top this time. What we want to do at this point is we'd like to avoid getting that extra forest out there. We have the green source. We don't really need anything at this point. We have a white, we have a green, we have another white, we have a black. This he can't get rid of. And let's take a look. His deck does play Remand and things like that. Thalia is definitely a welcomed addition. See if we can get him tapping. So there's the mana to deal with days. He shouldn't have anything outside of bounce and counters. Remand. Impulse. Digging for force. Alright, so that means he's going to have 5 cards in his hand if he finds it. That deck does not play days. The reason because they need to get their mana down. Alright, Thalia hit. That means next turn we are going to play the choke. Alright, and what's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? Yep, we're playing the choke. He's digging for lands most likely. If that deck misses a land drop, it really, really hurts. And if they're playing spells on your turn, it means that they're probably shy of lands. If he doesn't find a land, this choke is going to be the game. If he does, he still needs the Force of Will. So we're gonna go for the choke. I forgot to do that there, but I'm pretty sure you'll notice that and probably call me on it. Good old top. Alright, so he's got shortage of lands. All his spells cost more. We don't have a green or a forest, so next turn, yeah, we should be in good shape here. We should have this one won. Let's see, we can play all 3 of the cards in our hand. Yeah, we're happy. Right now we are happy. This does not mean that this game is over, by the way. By any stretch of the imagination, this game is far from. We are going to go Bob first. If he's got the force, he's got the force. If not, then so be it. Let's see. So we hit him for 2 this turn. That's 16. Then we can hit him for 8 or 10. We're just going to go with 8 because that'll work. We're going to put a stop on our upkeep. That way we can take a look. We should have this one. Not exactly what I'd want to see, but hey, so be it. At least we're drawing stuff. Not playing that forest. Alright. Let's see what we would have found. There'd have been a Thoughtseize there. And I don't really see anything else that we'd want to bring in. I mean, he's got no permanents for us to blow up. He's all instants. Occasionally there's a Snapcaster Mage in there. And it's usually only a 1-of, and it's only meant in case they have something discarded. And that's it. Alright, so game 3, here we go. This hand looks actually pretty good. I'm a little miffed that I have to get the Force. I'd like that to actually have been a Horizon Canopy. But I will take this hand and go with it. Could have Spell Pierce. Gaddock Teague is not really... Teague is an option, but it only stops a couple of spells in his deck. And that's what we're a little afraid of. So there's our Forest into Bird. So next turn, here's his sorry, not Brainstorm. They still try and use Brainstorm in a similar fashion. It's just that they tend to have other ways. Like there aren't very many shuffle effects because the deck doesn't want to open itself up to stifle. At least standardized shuffle effects. So I'm actually going to go for the Thalia here. You know what? I'm going to go for the Green Sun. If this gets remanded, oh, it didn't. Teague. Alright, so that turns off some of the bounce from his side. You could still easily play like Snap and stuff like that. Next turn I get the chance to play Bob, or I can play Thalia twice, so that'll deal with a remand. He can't play Force, he can't play Repeal. It's the card I was thinking of. So we're going to give that a shot. I'm going to try and land this Thalia now. White. Black. He can't play Submerge. Yay. And he's going to try and go off. Crap. The good news is that at 3 mana... Well, I forgot about that one. Sometimes it sucks. I would F6 except for if he doesn't finish going off here. There's a good possibility. I mean, I'm going to play... If he doesn't go off here, I've got 2 turns. I'm definitely dropping the Bob into play. But he's got 6 cards in hand and a lot of mana available to him. This is going to be really hard. This is the problem with a deck like this. Like you're in a good position, but you're not in a good position. Like Turnabout nets him 2 mana. Reset nets him 4. So we may be dead here. Still can't. Well, I guess I can F6 because it'll stop me at combat. So I'll just F6 now, let him do his thing. Try and talk over it so that there's something entertaining. I mean, who knows? This deck is usually pretty strong against a lot of different things. Unfortunately, the things that I need him to not be strong against are discard, which the deck draws tons of cards. Like everything in there reads draw a card or produce mana. It's that simple. Like the Snap is like a 2 or 3 of. He's flashing that back, so he's looking for another reset spell. He may fizzle. If he does, we have 2 turns and a Thalia in play with a Bob. So we'll be drawing. We'll have next turn as well. We'll draw 2 more cards and be able to land double Bob, Teague, Thalia in play. And I know a lot of people are like, never play double Bob, but sometimes you have to. Let's see, how many cards is that? 1... 2 separate brainstorms. Oh, you suck. So there's that one, and then there's this one. Yeah, that's game. Oh well. He got both brainstorms. Nothing much that we can do to that. I mean, let's see. What would we have drawn? We'd have hit the Thoughtseize next turn. Oh well. Oh, that's this round. We'll give it another shot in a moment.